All right, welcome back, everyone. Connecting Dots 2 here. We are Sunday, February 26, 2017. I'm taking the time out to make this video because, well, some of you are still on this Fukushima fraud thing and sending me some info, and I appreciate it very much. I don't have time to watch all the garbage on Fukushima, so I kind of like it when you folks are out there picking up this garbage and send me the links. All right, so the latest one, and by the way, I'll mention before I get in here that everything is streaming live over at connectingdots1.com. It's in this thread right here. Now, I'll come back to this forum because we are dealing with Fukushima, and I have some live readings here. So at some point, once I go over the material, we'll get back into the website itself and the live readings along the West Coast here and elsewhere around the world. The video I'm making right now is in response to, more specifically to another comment that was left over at my other YouTube channel, Silver Gold Man. It was in a video I had just uploaded here 4 days ago. So the comment is in this video right here, down below from Double Hoop Nation. He says, Putin said the Rothschilds are not welcome in Russia. That would be the Rothschild banking cartel. And he says, too bad we can't say the same thing. Yeah, no doubt about that. But we're controlled by Zionists here in North America. Many of you know that. And that's why I continue on with this conspiracy stuff, because there's more and more people that are joining in this great big awareness, this global movement against the Rothschild banking cartel. Anyways, without digressing any further, he goes on to say Durnford claims he needs $7,000 video camera. Wow. That's why I said, okay, I'm going to go check this out here. And two, not one, but two $7,000 Skype boxes to do his broadcast. Now, normally when you do if you're going to do a broadcast and you're including Skype, usually that's because you have an intention on having some guests on there, or possibly even a debate with someone who doesn't see eye to eye with you on whatever it may be, right? Well, it turns out that's not the case. Dana Durnford, if you've been around for a while, you may have heard back in 2014 and 2015, and in fact, even in 2016, and repeated again, I put out at first it was just not a wager, I just wanted to debate him live. He refused to join up with me, avoided me like the plague, and finally I put a $3,000 price tag. I said, listen, I'll debate your $3,000. I'll prove to you that all these reactors, the fuel pools, are still there. Didn't want to debate. Totally walked away from me. So the Skype thing, I can't see why people would ever want to donate money, but whatever. He's got to come up with some bullshit reasons. And then you go on to read here. He says, plus, Dana said he'd like 1,000 people to send him $10, not 1,000, 1,000 people to send him $10 a month. Anyway, so I decided to go check it out. Thanks, Double Hoop. And sure enough, that's what's going on here in his video. Now, I'll get into that video, but first let's start off. I need to start at ground zero because I realize there's a lot of people that have not been around here since the beginning. There's many people that are just joining into Fukushima, which is okay. However, there's a lot of you, because you have not been around for a long time, you don't know the in-depth background story to what's been taking place on YouTube as far as Fukushima. So please pay attention. I don't care if you don't like the sound of my voice, or you just don't like the information, or I'm not fearing enough for you. I don't have enough fear in my voice to scare you about Fukushima. Like I said, we'll go over that as we get into the show here, because this is the big difference between myself and myself and the rest of them, is that they're all claiming everything is dead. They have no data, no data to prove that Fukushima is killing anything in the Pacific Ocean. In fact, they don't even have samples, which was promised to all of us from Dana Durnford back in August of 2014, when he started the video that you can see up above. Horror. The Pacific Ocean now dead from Fukushima radiation. This was in August of 2014. Like I said, if you're new around here, you want to hang out here, because we're going to go over some of the I was going to say groundbreaking, but it's not groundbreaking. Groundbreaking fraud, because if you watch what was taking place back then, and you listen to what's going on, and I'm not going to play the entire video, Dana, there's nothing Dana Durnford would love more than to hit me up on a copyright strike. You have to understand here, I am the thorn in his you-know-what, and I'm hitting his donation box and substituting it with real common sense. It's called a gamma spectrometer, for folks, and I'll get into that shortly here. It's over at my Connecting Dots 2. It's at the top right here on the right-hand corner, gamma spectrometer funding. But the video right now is not about the funding. The video right now I'm making is about the Fukushima frauds, and it's a massive gang. So hang tight. We're going to go over some of the beginning of how this whole fraud all started. The Fukushima reporting started way back in, that's right, 2011, when the meltdown took place. Dana was not around. Dana Durnford was not around. I was making videos every single day over at my YouTube channel, Connecting Dots 1. My Connecting Dots 2 was actually my backup. And when I got too popular in spring of 2011, was that spring? 2012 was a year later. And spring of 2012, YouTube pulled my YouTube channel. I was almost nearing 8,000 subscribers. So my backup channel was Connecting Dots 2. And as you can see here, we're almost back up to 8,000. People know me. I've been online for a long time doing this stuff, and mostly the financial stuff before Fukushima. That's why you can see here, #1 track record on YouTube since 2009, because I've been doing the financial stuff over at my Connecting Dots 1. Connecting Dots 1 doesn't exist anymore. I've now transferred over to my Silver Gold Man YouTube channel, and that's where I do financial stuff. Just so you can understand here why these channels are, why is he over at Silver Gold Man and Connecting Dots 2? You know, I have a history. I've been doing it since 2009. So when they deleted my YouTube channel, Connecting Dots 1, in spring, I think it was May of 2012, I continued on with Connecting Dots 2. And that's very important because I'm going to be going over some of the videos here. Hang tight. Like I said, this is going to be an information session. Anyone who has not been around here for a long time, you're trying to grasp what's taking place. You come across my information, you're like, what's this guy all about? He's got fraud and disinformation YouTubers, and I got a whole list there, and some of them you may even trust. So today specifically, we're going to be dealing with Jeff Rense and Paul Begley, and I'll speak a little bit about Alex Jones, how he plays his part in the Fukushima fraud. They all play a role. I hope you understand that they have no data. This is the big difference between myself, okay, than the rest of the people. I am dedicated to data. I want data. I want results. I want testing, and I want the results, the data, so I can share them with you. So that's one of the big things I've been doing since 2011 when the meltdown took place. I've been dedicated to try and pull out real data. So as far as the meltdown now, we'll get into this later on, but that's what the gamma spectrometer funding is all about, is about doing ongoing testing. So Dana began, I should say, in August of 2014. He came out and said that he had done 200 kilometers of the Pacific coastline. I happen to live right here on Vancouver Island, British Columbia, Canada. I'm not sure if you know where that is. Let's just do a quick track here, because this ties into Jeff Rense and Dana Durnford. So I live right in the city of Victoria. You can go see my videos, which I'll pull up a little later on. There's one video here where I took off from my place, walked down to mile 0 to this little beach right here. I live roughly about 8 minutes from the beach. I kid you not. And you get to see my video where I come right down to the beach, walk down the little steps here. And I even show on the video I'm at Battery Street. So I'll be showing that later on, just because this is important. What happened is in 2015 and 2016, Jeff Rense, as well as Dana Durnford, started promoting on YouTube that the strait, I live here along the Strait of Juan de Fuca, the Strait of Juan de Fuca. So the Strait of Juan de Fuca is world renowned for its ebb and flow tide. It's back and forth. The tide is very strong here. And what happens is Dana happens to live up here. He lives in the city of Powell River City. It's a small little town, okay? So he lives in Powell River, and remember the name Saltery Bay, because this is one of the names that Dana is going to be mentioning in his video, and it's also a place where I visited in my video, because I went right up to Dana Durnford's Powell River shoreline here and traveled from Lund to Powell River down to Saltery Bay. I stopped at these 3 different beaches, probably about 4 of them all together, and I got video footage to to disclaim everything that he was saying. People loved it. That was in 2015. And what can I say? People want the truth. Sorry, not 2015, 2016. People want the truth. So we're going to get into that a little later on. But what's important is that Dana was telling everyone that he had traveled 200 kilometers along this coastline. In fact, if you go watch his videos back then, that was his, his big, he was trying to claim fame for it. He said, we traveled 200 kilometers of the coastline here, and it's dead. Well, in fact, he was saying, 99% dead. He was saying there were over 5,500 marine species that had vanished along the coastline, and it's only him and his buddy that noticed it. Now, the best of it is, if you go listen to the beginning of these videos, Dana's not shy. In the early days, in fact, like I said, go watch the very first video from August 14, and he tells you straight up front, he says, I did not go down to the beach myself and take any of these pictures. My friend next to me is the one that took the pictures. Oh, so that lets him off the hook. Well, apparently Dana was in a wheelchair and he couldn't walk. Well, now we all see him walking. But okay, we'll put that aside. He's done a miraculous recovery. The point is, he was saying back then that he had traveled this entire area and everything was dead. Now, you notice the island here in front, right? Because this is where I live. Like I said, folks, I live right there. I live on this island. I live on the city of Victoria. The ebb and flow tide, which him, as well as Jeff Rense and a few others on YouTube, were telling everyone that the radiation had washed up here because the ebb and flow tide, and it killed everything along the Pacific coastline. It was dead. So it's 100% bullshit. It's all lies. And like, I'm not going to fight with you on this one, right? I'm not going to fight with you on this one. I live, like I said, I live a couple of 8 minutes from the beach. I have friends that live up in Tofino that work, right here. Oh, did you see where this town is? Tofino. I go pick wild mushrooms out in the Clayoquot Arm Provincial Park here, the largest fresh body of water in British Columbia. I'm down there all the time. My buddies surf along these beaches here. They surf. My friends are surfers. Some of my friends, they surf. I don't surf, but I'm just telling you, they surf. My friend Colette works at the seafood processing plant. My other buddy works at the, they have these wild pens where they grow, where they raise wild salmon. He happens to work at one of these fish plants. One of these food offshore areas there where they grow the fish in pens. My other friend actually works in the fish processing plant. So I've said before, folks, like, I'm going to have so many tests coming up in the future when I raise this gamma spectrometer, because I have friends all along the shoreline, along the Pacific coast. I have friends in Nanaimo that are willing to capture some fish for me while they're out fishing. They'll grab the fish and I'll test it. And this is what people want. We want test. We don't want people that are going to spend their time showing their face, because I get that all the time. Hey, connecting dots too? Don't be such a chicken shit. Why don't you show your face? Who cares about my face? Nobody cares about my face. You guys want the data. You want the results. So I'm going to provide the results, and we're going to get into some real common sense stuff here. I've been saying for a long time that if the Pacific Ocean was even 75% dead, let alone 99% dead, if this was dead, then go check out the price of seafood, because surely to God, everything that's raised in the Pacific Ocean, the seafood must have gone up, because according to everyone else on YouTube, it's dead. Well, it's dying. Oh, they had to change their tone, because when we debunked them on the dead part, now they're trying to say it's dying. Again, they have no proof, no data, zip, zilch, zero. So what happened is we had Dana come out here making these outrageous claims in August of 2014 that everything was dead. Him and his buddy had gone along the shoreline, traveled 200 kilometers, and then they started reeling in everyone who would fall for that absolute garbage. And unfortunately, one of the YouTubers, very well known, unfortunately, he's passed away now. He took his own life in December of 2014, the late Jeff Palco. You can do a search on YouTube, Jeff Palco. You'll see the email right here, how Fukushima fraud contributed to Jeff Palco's death. This is an email I received from Jeff Palco's biological mother. She wanted to speak to Dana Durnford, Kevin Blanch, and Thomas Ackerman. She said, can you tell those guys to contact me? I've sent them emails. They won't respond. I'm like, well, that doesn't surprise me, because if you go watch the video, the last few videos that Jeff Palco put out before he took his life in December of 2014, go listen to the dead man's own words. He warned everyone back then that he'd been scammed out of his life savings. Kevin Blanch had scammed him. Kevin Blanch had lied to him and told him he was an ex-hedge fund manager. Kevin Blanch has been a plasterer for the last 35 years. He owns stucco.com. In fact, that website is for sale right now, stucco.com. Long story short, go watch his videos, because that's where the truth is, okay? And in the end, when I got too heavy on the Jeff Palco videos, I mean, they're losing a lot of subscribers here. You have to understand, I was creating a lot of hurt in their fields, because too many of you, no matter if you don't like me, it doesn't matter. You're not stupid. You're not going to put up with a bunch of people on YouTube making videos about a topic and then these same people scamming people out of their life savings. That's the one thing I know. You may not like me, but by golly gee, you got enough comments and you say, okay, yeah, you're right. You're right. Enough with this. So what ends up happening is they came back and they switched his name. Look at the writing. They made videos to try and mislead people. So if they did searches on Jeff Palco, they would come up with their videos. I'm sorry, but the cat was out of the bag. They were busted. Again, go watch the videos. Dana only taking pictures, no science. These are his own words. Go listen to the dead man's words. Look, the fund agreement with Kevin Blanch. You get to see how he got his life savings. He was scammed out of his life savings. Scammed. Now, this is where we're going to start spreading out and branching out a little bit, so you can understand how, when I say this is a massive gang, I am not kidding. In fact, please take your time and go watch his videos, because this is one of the things that he calls it, the Fukushima fairy tale. And he says the fairy tale, the mushroom ring, the fairy tale mushroom ring is massive. He's absolutely correct. This is massive. Go listen to the dead man's words. Don't listen to my own words. He got his life savings, and when I mean life savings, I'm not kidding, okay? The Jeff Palco had hurt his back. He was out of work for the last 8 years of his life. He was on ongoing everyday painkillers for the last 8 years of his life due to a back injury. These people knew that he was high on drugs, if you want to call it. Yeah, because you know how it is when you're on drugs. It's kind of like when you drink that, you drink one beer, you're okay, but you drink 24 beers and you're not quite the same person as you were when you only had the one beer, correct? Bingo. What happens if you got up every day and you're drinking at 24 every day, you're drinking 20? You're not going to be that same person as you were when you're sober all the time. And that's exactly what happened to to Jeff Palco. The late Jeff Palco was on painkillers every day to deal with the pain. He was no longer that same sharp unit as he was in the past. They took advantage of him. Jeff Palco lent, not gave, lent. Okay? He lent the money to Kevin Blanch. $18,500. So Kevin Blanch could, apparently a hedge fund. Well, you're making money with other people's money. That's what the hedge fund's all about, right? So, Jeff figured he would lend the money to Kevin Blanch. Kevin Blanch would work with that money in the markets and turn around and make some money. And, the deal was, you don't take my own words on it. You can go check this out, okay? You can go listen to Jeff Palco's words. His dealings were that Kevin was supposed to take that money, make a little bit of money with it, and then return the $18,500 to Jeff Palco and keep the remainder. That never happened. In fact, go listen to his own words. His own words, he talks about how he was scammed. They wouldn't even answer the phone calls anymore. They wouldn't even answer the phone. They knew that they could see on their phones, I guess, that they had a long-distance call coming in from Canada, and guess who it was? It was Jeff Palco looking for his cash. Anyways, long story short, I can't go over all these videos. There's a lot of information here, so I'm hoping that you're going to be an inquisitive, a curious person, and you're going to go check this stuff out, and you'll say, Okay, I got it now. Thank you very much. Now, we're getting into the next part. Like I said, this is a massive gang here of fraud on YouTube. And back in 2011, I went after, 2014 is where I really started going after the Fukushima ring and fairy tale ring, the frauds on YouTube that were dealing specifically with Fukushima. And one of the videos I'd made was regarding Jeff Rense and tattoo. I don't know if you know this guy. I mean, he's a nobody on YouTube, but he's connected with the gang anyways. And that's why I made the video showing people, look, even this guy, Tattoo, he promotes the Jeff Rense channel on his YouTube channel. This is the biggest thing, folks, that many of you are going to catch on to what's taking place here. And in this one here, the Fukushima fraud, radchick Christina Consolo, in that video, it's an hour and 12 minutes, but I'll tell you straight up, if you go watch that one there, at some point you get to see here, I connected Christina Gonzalez with RT News, the fake news network. I have her, again, lying about the Fukushima, how everything is dying. She came out asking for donations because her daughter, apparently, we're talking a while back here. As I said, I've been doing these videos since 2011. But in 2011, she came out telling everyone that radiation, because she happens to live in the United States, had crossed the Pacific Ocean, had rained down on her daughter's arm, and had burnt her arm. 3rd-degree burns from Fukushima radiation on her arm. People were calling her, come on, come on. You know, and I had to hold myself back because I was kind of like, we were both YouTubers that were making videos on Fukushima back then. And although I had a little bit of my doubts about her, I must admit, when she came out with the video telling everyone that the radiation from Fukushima had fallen in a rainfall and landed on her daughter's arm and gave 3rd-degree burns, that's where I'm like, hold on a second here. I'm smelling bullshit here. And then more recently, I'm not sure if you watch this video, she's now coming out asking you to give her some money because she went traveling somewhere to her friend's place and her disease has picked back up again, and now she can't make it home in a regular flight and she needs to be driven there and she'll have to pay for all the gas. Again, don't give her any money. Don't give these people any money. They've been scamming for a long time. Okay? So in 2016, I went right up to Dana Durnford's beach. That's the video you're looking at right there. I debunked him. Sorry, not that video. That video there is where I went to my beach. Sorry, I got mistaken there. So this video here in 2016 is where I went to my beach along the, city of Victoria here. And you get to see the Olympic mountain chain. Oh, please no. I'm at mile 0. You get to see the Olympic mountain chain. And there's the Olympic mountain chain. That's the USA. And the street of Juan de Fuca is right in the middle. I came down the stairs here, and there's the beach. Oh, it looks naked, doesn't it? I mean, and here's the whole thing, you know. In all of Dana's videos, has anyone ever seen him gone out with his camera, get out of the boat, and actually go walk the beach and see if there's any marine life? No. What we have are pictures, just like what you're seeing right there, from far away, telling you, look at the rock. The rocks are bare. There's nothing. I mean, this is what we've heard here time and time again. In fact, even when I went up to his own beach, I'll show you that in a moment. When I went right up to his own beach, that's exactly, you know, what I was showing folks. Look, he's telling everything is bare. Well, it looks kind of bare, and still, until you go walking around and you start realizing, oh wow, it's actually, you know, there's a lot of life here. So I'm not going to go over this entire video, but I made my point there of getting out of the boat. I'm on foot, so I'm not on boat. I walk down from the shoreline. But I made a point of you have to get down on your hands and knees. And if you want to see marine life, well, in the blastering sun like that at low tide, guess what? All these crabs and all this marine life, they're not walking on top of the bare rocks. They're usually hidden underneath the, you know, they want to hide. They close up in that species there. They close up. I mean, go watch the entire video. I pulled out some barnacles. There's all kinds of stuff in that thing, in that video, I should say. I can't get over all of it now, but there's definitely a lot of marine life. And, oh, man, I pulled out some, I don't know if anyone remembers there, but I pulled out these big, massive crabs. There's a bunch of mussels right on the beach. I mean, there's so much stuff there. I can't go over it. There's some fish here. I mean, this is the type of, there's more than one fish. There's a bunch of them there. I end up pulling out a nice big crab out of this one. I'm not sure if you remember that one, but like I said, if you want to make claims that everything is dead, you actually have to get out of your boat and go walk around. In fact, we had some beach surveying taking place in Alaska in 2015, and in that video they showed you how the researchers had broken up the rocks with a bunch of strings, had tied them off into quadrants, little squares. So they would do a little square, maybe 1 foot by 1 foot square, and they would mark down all the living things that they found in that square, and then go on to square another square, and then mark down we didn't have that kind of scientific stuff with Dana. What we had is a guy running around with his camera, just like I am right there, just zooming it around, not showing you up close to anything, and telling you that everything is dead. It's absolutely lies anyways. I'm not going to go over it, but the fact is the video is there. If you want to go watch it, there's a lot of proof that everything was not dead. Now, the Fukushima frauds here, we're getting into that. I got off track a little bit, but as you can see down below, I'd marked off BP, Earthwatch, Dutchsinse, Bar 911, 970. There's a whole lot here, folks. You have to understand this is a large Fukushima fairy tale ring of corruption. Go watch this guy's video. Heck, I should just play it right now. It's 2 minutes 42. Okay, let's listen to his own words. So if you have any doubts, well, you won't have any doubts after this one.
This is Jeff, the original Punisher. Fukushima fairy tale. Let's start off with Kevin Blanch and the GP lower breast. So I've been in contact with Kevin many times asking for information to show that the hunt was set up as he claimed, legally and all above board. However, nothing's come out of that. He's avoiding me completely. So the GP No Regrets Fund was never established, never set up. So that means Kevin Blanch is no friend of mine. He stole my money from me and never followed through. So Kevin Blanch, no friend of mine. Now let's think about the ring here. We've got a ring of Fukushima fairy tales going on, just like a mushroom ring. Fukushima fairy tales. Dana and his boat trip. What's he actually doing for science? Absolutely nothing. All he's doing is driving around in his boat that I paid for, taking pictures underwater and showing them on the web. There's no science there, no videos, and no photos taken prior to show before life on the rocks he's checking out. All we're seeing is what's there right now. So who knows what was there before there. So that's another fairy tale. We don't have any solid data, just pictures. And pictures are only pictures. So this Fukushima fairy tale ring is pretty big. It encompasses a lot more than 2 people. It's a group effort, and I'm sure there is a lot more Fukushima fairy tale spinners out there than I could be aware of or know of. But this is just my video to share that Kevin Blanch is no friend of mine, and he basically stole my money. Dana Durnford, all he's doing is taking pictures of rocks and not have any scientific proof of water contamination or what was on the rocks prior to him showing up and taking pictures. So artists, there's a whole bunch of artists who are involved in this. It's a big ring, bigger than you can imagine, the Fukushima fairy tale ring. Anyways, Jeff, original Punisher. Hope this helps some of you see a little bit clearer.
All right. Well, that's another good video. Dana Durnford before and after the arrest. I'm not sure if people are aware of that, but he was arrested. I'm just looking over the comment section right now, and boy, oh boy, yes, they hide in plain sight that way. They know most will throw the baby out with the bathwater when they discover the Freemasonry connection. Good for you, guy. That's what I've been talking about too, that there's a massive Freemasonry fraud on YouTube. And oddly enough, Kevin Blanch is one of the guys that, I've said this before, they all like kind of show their true colors. You just got to look for the important stuff. So in Kevin Blanch, it's, you know, I guess he's trying to lead people to believe that he's a 33-degree Freemason. So if you're watching his videos, he calls himself the 33rd degree. What is it again? Oh my God! Look, does he not look like a freak? Oh my God! What a freak! What a freak! Okay, he calls himself the 33rd degree can of soup. Oh, it's not written in his video, unfortunately. I'm not sure if anybody saw that. But again, he's got the GoFundMe. Please do not fund this fraudster. This guy has never had cancer, has never done any real reporting. He's gone down to the beach with his camera, and the same thing as Dana Durnford. All he did was stand far away from the beach, never did any inspection whatsoever. And you go click on the GoFundMe, and you'll be like, wow, look at all the people that gave him money. $22,000. $22,000. This is where I'm like, no, this has got to be fake. This has got to be fake. We have a guy on YouTube who has scammed someone out of their life savings. Fraud. Scam. Lied. And the proof is all there, folks. That's the best of it. It's not like I'm making up this shit. The proof is all there. We have the dead man's own words who said he's been scammed. So why is it? No, seriously, I ask you, why is it that we have these people like Kevin Blanch that are receiving these mass amounts of money? It has to be fraud. It has to be a setup. I don't believe that any YouTuber would come across and look at give 150, another $100. Do people give money that easily on YouTube without actually looking into what they're donating to? I don't know. I will tell you this, that the guy is 110% a fraudster. He scammed Jeff Palco of his life savings. Every single one of his videos where he goes down to the beach, not one of them, mark my words, not one of them does a real inspection like I do. He makes these false claims that he's gone along the entire West Coast from Oregon all the way down to Mexico. Another bullshit. There are no videos of him going down to all the beaches. Like I said, you know, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to just go check out some of the videos here I've put out over at Connecting Dots 2. And this one here, this is the one I'm talking about, where I went right up to Dana's beach, and in less than 24 hours, I busted all of the claims that Dana had said. And I played them in the video so people could see here. There's no oysters, and I show you all the oysters. Salisbury Bay, nothing's live. Then I show you all the live stuff, and you know, unbelievable here, the scams that's taking place, and people are willing to donate money to a fraudster. I noticed somebody mentioned in the comments Paul Begley. I'm like, yes, Paul Begley is also part of this fraud. We can't forget the Paul Begley, okay? Don't forget this fraudster. He is absolutely 110% part of the fraud. There's no doubt about that. In fact, someone even busted Paul Begley because they had an interview, and the person came back and relayed the information. He was busted. What happens is he comes up front and he tells you, no, I'm just doing this for the money. I'm giving them what they want to hear. They want to hear about Jesus, and they want to hear about prophecy and doomsday and the end of the world. I'm just telling them what they want. And I have to admit, you guys, you want to hear the truth? Folks, guys and gals, it's true. There's people on YouTube, they're not here for the truth. They just, whatever. They believe that it's apocalypse time or whatever, prophecy, and it's the end of the world. You know, they haven't even researched that conspiracy itself. You know, it's very sad what's taking place on YouTube now. I don't know if you can notice here, but my Skype is on, and someone sent me a message. I'm going to get into that because I just received a message yesterday from one of my subscribers at Connecting Dots 2, and it's not good. He has neck cancer. So what I did is I've gone out and I dug up some information that I'm going to share with you folks that I've already shared with him, and it's up to you. Like, I can't force people to wake up and get informed. That's the one thing. It's, it's the same thing with Fukushima. I can't force you to go get informed and go watch Jeff Palco's videos. That's something that you have to do on your own. I can't force you to go listen to the Paul Begley Exposed. It's stuff that you got to take on your own. I have to keep these shows rather short, but at least you got some insight here where you can get informed. Oops, I didn't mean want to show all these guys. Anyways, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over the information that I shared with him. I can't play all these videos, and at the very end, I'm going to give you a link to some stuff, some items I believe that you should purchase or consider purchasing. I'm going to leave it up to you. To each his own, you'll never be alone, is what my father used to say. So I'll leave it up to you. However, at least I'll give you some insight, and you can go check it out for yourself and decide if you want to take action and maybe try to prevent some cancer. Because, with all my Fukushima research that I've done, and I've been doing this since 2011, I'll tell you the number one way to protect yourself from picking up any of these radioactive isotopes and making them part of your body and possibly, mutating your cells and coming down with cancer. The number way to prevent this way is to make sure that your diet is a full rounded nutritional diet. If you're lacking in anything, your body will seek that element from an unnatural source like man-made radiation, and that's where you may have a problem. So again, we'll get back into the gamma spectrometer because this is one of the big things. I want to do ongoing testing. And you're probably asking, well, you must be receiving some donations. I'll tell you folks where I'm receiving my donations right now. In fact, I just received another one from Rick. This is the second time he sent me a donation. What happens is there are quite a few traders that have joined my technical analysis and my trade room offer. And there's also a newer bunch that are all starting to join up here. These are people that have money that don't want to learn technical analysis, but they want to work off some of my trades. They want to, because I send out newsletters or video blogs. I try to make them once a week, but it could be 2 weeks. I'm not trying to make or sell a service where I'm going to be pumping out stocks every single week. I don't want to do that. I want to go by what I feel is good, a good potential play for you. And what happens is, or what's starting to happen is that some of the traders that have taken that offer, they're winning on my calls, and they're sending me money towards my gamma spectrometer. Like I said, again, it was yesterday, another $25 came in, and the guy was very upfront, there's another $25 for your gamma spectrometer. And that's the second time I believe Rick has sent me money after winning on my play. So thank you very much. I highly appreciate it. Don't send me any money if you can't afford it, okay? I don't want your cash. I want some truth out here, and if I got to do it myself with my traders, we're going to do it. The point that I'm making is that we have no data, and no one on YouTube is raising any money for doing any testing. And I've said that before, folks, and I'll be upfront with you. My gamma spectrometer is going to be a mobile unit that will allow me to go out on the field, out to the ocean, out to the fishing station. I mean, the fish processing plant. I'll get lots of guts for free. I can do lots of testing at the fishing plant. You know how many thousands of fish are processed at the plant every day? You probably don't know that. But long story short, this is the community I live in. I'm in the heart of the Fukushima meltdown, or should say we were all told that it came straight over, from Japan, straight over to here along the coastline. And we've been told how, it's just loaded radiation. Everything's dead here. In fact, I just saw another video today, and the girl was saying the exact same thing. This is sad here, but I want you to know that this is what's taking place on YouTube. It's the land of corruption, and there's a large number of people that are all playing their little role in it. Let me just see here if I could get that. Where was it? It was this one here, I believe. Where was that girl? Oh, I'll come back to her in a second. So what's important is that none of them are doing any testing. Paul Begley is the same as the rest of them. One of the big things you may have heard, and I've said this before, is how they all interconnected all the way back to Energy News. I'm not sure if you're aware of that, but that's one of the big things I've been saying is be careful at the Energy News. And it's interesting how they all seem to go right back to Energy News all the time. So in this latest one here, how Fukushima killed the Pacific Ocean food chain, why you should care. Listen to this is where I said I had to come out here and listen to this, because is he really asking for all this stuff? Listen to this.
Straight. I do, right? I've got an incredible amount of equipment that is useless for anything else. It's only good for this one thing. This is all it's good for. I don't know. Like, if we had a normal world, I can do weird stuff, I'm sure, but this is about telling you a story. This is about one man who is dedicated 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and it's so frustrating. It's so frustrating. Every moment of every day for me is the most frustrating moments of my life.
Yeah, so I hope you don't buy into that bullshit. So one of the big things is that he spends 24 hours a day. He pulls up old data. You know, like, this is why I want the gamma spectrometer. You realize that all of the articles that Dana and the rest of them pull out, most of them are dated. They're old. There's not very much recent data, especially when it comes to testing fish and marine life. They don't have any of that. Oh, what they will tell you is that, oh, in reactor number 2, they've picked up the highest readings in the building. So what? Just because the readings in the building happen to be at a higher level than they picked up in the past, that does not mean that the Fukushima radiation is washed up on my shoreline and has killed everything. I hope you understand that, folks, eh? I hope so. There's a problem on YouTube. People can't connect the dots. They figure because inside the building at reactor number 2, the levels have risen for some reason. Well, that means the rest of the world here, we're being nuked here all the time. Unbelievable. So I kind of fast forward. I missed that part here. I wanted to play the part where he babbles away about his
gotta be able to be good with it, proficient with it.
Here, 2436. Here we go.
It's behind me unless
here we go.
I need 1 million subscribers.
There we go. Here we go.
I can't exist though in a capacity in a short period of time that we have and be effective unless this planet gets behind me, unless I have, I need 1 million subscribers. I need 1,000 people to donate $10 a month. I can fucking hammer these people multiple times a day with incredible material. You got to buy, Skype machine is $7,000, but you need a couple of them. Cameras are going to be about $7,000 for proper ones. It's just to be able to put together the graphic packages. You need money. You have to burn money doing what I'm doing.
No, you don't have to burn any money. He's already got the camera. He's already bought himself a big studio mixer equipment. He doesn't need any more. What we need, folks, is testing. Again, I'm going to say it. I don't care if you don't like me. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, I know what you want. You want the same thing I do. You want results. You want data. You don't want to be reading stories that were published September 1st, 2011 that are telling you that what? Cancer, illness, blah, 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 blah. But there's no data. There's nothing. Zip, zilch, zero. So I'm going to, please do not send any money to these fraudsters. And I was just trying to think here. I did find the Rick had sent me $25. There it is right there, folks. Okay. SGM. Thank you very much. Add this to your gamma ray fund. Thank you very much, Rick. So what we want is data. We want truth. We don't want scammers. In fact, this is the other woman that I just went and typed in today. I'm not impressed with her because, again, it's the same bullshit. And what is she telling you there? You go click on it. She's telling you what? This is what, this is how I nail them all the time, okay? current info on the situation. You go check it out. And who does she bring you to? Guess who? Come on, come on. Okay, I got to close this window here. This is what's taking. It's the Jeff Rense Show. You got it, Pontiac. It's the Jeff Rense Show that's telling you what? That Fukushima can end most of life on Earth within the next 9 years. Where is he getting that? It doesn't matter, folks, because he doesn't have no data. Jeff Rense is one of the bozos that was telling everyone that the Fukushima radiation was washing in and out of the Strait of Juan de Fuca. You remember the Strait of Juan de Fuca I was showing you just 20 minutes ago? Yeah, apparently the radiation was washing up along my shoreline in such high levels that it killed everything. Again, I'm going to remind you that if you think it's dead, go watch this video. I went right to Dana's beach. I busted him in 24 hours. And if you want more, there's another one here where I went right to my beach. I just showed you a couple of minutes ago, right? This one right here. I went right to my beach. It's not dying. What are these guys talking about? We are stuck with a bunch of fraudsters here, folks. And I seriously, a bunch. It's not just Paul Begley and Dana Durnford and Kevin Blanch. There's a host. Like I said, even this Mango and Space Panther Explore the Universe. These are people that do the same thing as the rest of them. They show their face. They have no data. This woman here, if you go listen to this ding dong. Ding dong. I called her worse than a ding dong in the comment sections. I'm not going to tell you what I called her, but she's a fraud. She's a scammer. She's coming out in her video at some point. Was it 3, 4, 5, 6 minutes in? Yeah, that's it. She's touching her hair. She's saying, you know, and I'm washing my hair and I have all this hair falling out because she came in contact with the cesium, apparently. 110% bullshit. If she was in touch with such high radiation that's making her hair fall out, I guarantee you her hair wouldn't be growing all back already and she'd be talking about this stuff. We'd have shitloads of pictures. There is no hair fallout. Don't lie. Don't believe these people. They're all freaking lying to you, folks. Okay? Same thing with the Pacific Ocean dead. I don't think so. It's not dead. Go watch the videos. This Give Me a Fine Name is another person here, another person who lives right on Vancouver Island where I do. He's gone right down to the beach so you can see in 3 minutes and 46 seconds, it's not dead. He's been living here his entire life. I've been here for what, 14 years? The beach looks the same as it was 14 years ago. It hasn't changed. So the fraud is here. There's no doubt about that. And at this point, I'm going to pull out the solutions for the cancer. So as I said, one of my subscribers sent me an email on Friday, and he says, they tell me I have bone cancer in my neck, and my only option is radiation treatment. This sucks, CD. Oh, I was kind of, you know, and I'm reading back my response. I mean, I should have went on longer, but I was shocked. I was, you know, what do you do? I was just shocked. So what I did, I decided to hop back on my research. It's something I've been doing for a long time. You'll find these videos over at my YouTube channel, Connecting Dots 2. Now, remember, this is my backup channel. I'm so glad I backed this stuff up. So if you go down below here, there's a thread. It's called My Health Helpers. Yeah, someone says, you got a Dabu video. Yes, Dabu is part of the fraud. I used that video because he'd pointed out something that I should have made a video on my own, but it was only 2 minutes 33, and it's about the Colorado and the marijuana industry. And by the way, those of you that are in my trade room, guys, I'm not sure if you're checking email, but I'm working on a new set of picks, and these are the marijuana stock picks. So get ready here. It's something that I'll be coming out here shortly. Didn't mean to digress, but in case anyone's out there from my trade room, just want to let you know that I'm working on a series of marijuana stocks. So if you go into Health Helpers, you'll see a whole lot of videos, obviously, and the ones I recommend, well, you can probably already see them, the cancer report. So this is one of the videos I'd shared, and I'm going to pull out these ones because okay, so you may want to do a search on this one, Latrell B17, And man, oh man, I'm sorry, I'm having a hard time with my computer again. And you may want to look at this one, the full cancer report. So I can't get into this video. It's quite long. In fact, I'll be honest with you. If you're someone who happens to have cancer, turn the volume down on this one. You don't want to listen to the music. It's going to depress you. I'm just being upfront with you. Okay. I was listening to it again last night and I don't like the music in it. It's a little depressive. However, the information, again, this is to help you on your search towards beating cancer. The information shared in this long video, because it's an hour and 20 minutes long, is great, exceptional. I think it's fabulous, okay? And I can't go over every single one. It goes over a series. You know, it's got a lot of information. I have to admit, it's one of the things I like about it. This video is jam-packed with information. So it's not just cures. It talks about, like, for example, oncologists themselves refusing to take their own medicine, what they're prescribing to everyone. Anyways, I highly recommend that you watch the video. It's on my Connecting Dots 2 YouTube channel, and it's called The Cancer Report. And I'm going to continue on here with some other stuff, and I'll come back to the readings here at the website. I got to close some stuff because my computer is already acting slow. I hate that. It's the Firefox. This latest Firefox download sucks. It just seems to always crash, always slow down. There's always a problem. You start off with just one and you're doing all right. And as soon as you open up some more, the website starts slowing down. So, all right. So let's go back to my Skype. And I want to pull out. Okay, so there's another one. It's called Hoxie, the quack who cured silver. Oops. Boy, oh boy, I'm having a hard time. I don't know why. It just, my computer starts to go really slow all of a sudden. And this is just a fresh upgrade. So here's another video you can check out. Cancer is not a cell. It's a fungus, candida. That's why you may have heard of it being beaten off by baking soda. For those of you may have heard the Italian doctor who's curing bladder cancer within, I think it's in 2 weeks. And all he does is give you a bladder rinse twice a day with pured water mixed with baking soda, and it changes the pH, and boom, boom, that's it. It dies. It's that quick, folks. All right, so let's get back into my Skype. I'm trying to figure out here what I can do in the background to make my computer run faster, because, like I said, it acts up every once in a while, and it starts slowing down. So I'm gonna try to do this as quickly as I can. All right, so the next one were a series of things that you may want to purchase to help you. Oh, fuck. Sorry. Come on. Come on. Boy, oh boy, I'm having a hard time here. Now it's opening up on the other window. Okay, I got it. Just wait. Okay. I'll go over all of these with you. And these were images, I believe. And okay, there was the cancer report. Now I'll show you all these things in a moment, folks. Just give me a second. They're all popping up on the other browser. I'm just going to get it all set up beforehand so then I can just go over all this stuff with you all at once. Okay. And I think I have to open up this one again because that messed up. Oh, what's happening here? Holy jumping. Oh. Okay, is this working? Yes, we are on track. Okay, I got them all opened up. I'm going to minimize this close a couple of these windows here. Remember Jeff Palco, please. Anyone who's new, please go listen to his own words. It's going to keep you informed. And I'll come back to connecting dots 2 at the 1 in a minute, And now I'm going to go over to my other browser. And I'm going to go over the information that was popping up. So the first one are pH test strips. The reason why is they found that there's a correlation that people had their acidic bodies were more prone to having cancer. In fact, not only getting cancer, but also many other diseases. You are you are less likely to be sick if you can keep your pH in a proper level. And as I was saying to Ernest, the reason I like this one is because how it breaks down in the increments. It has the widest increment range available, and that's why I'm recommending this specific company. I don't get a penny from this. I don't make any money, folks. Okay, none whatsoever. I'm just doing this for those of you that want to stay informed on this, and possibly you'll have someone in your future that may come down with cancer. Hopefully not, but if they do, at least you can pull out this video and say, okay, I remember that guy. He talked about all this stuff. This is very important. Okay, it has to do with the acidity. You want to make sure your pH level is right. You want a pH strips that has a wide range so it's more precise, because many of the other strips will jump from a pH of 4 to a pH of 5 to a pH of 6. You don't want those ones. You want the one that has the widest range. It's narrower. It'll give you a more precise reading of your body's pH level. Hope this helps. Okay, there's the name of it. Phion Diagnostics. Next one up. Oh, this was another one, but what did I... Oh, because I think this one had different readings in it. Yeah, so this one's not bad, but I still prefer the other one. Okay, I still prefer the other one. So I think I popped up a couple of them here. Now, this one here is a, something that I posted at the end of the video last night at Connecting Dots 2 on beating cancer, and it had to do with seeds from various fruits that have the highest level of B17. And I was making a point in that video that, to help you remember the B17 vitamin, just think of the B17 bombers during the war. So they had a big impact, those B17 bombers. It was, I believe it was a good reason why we were able to defeat the Nazis. Anyways, long story short, the B17, you want to remember that one. And here's a glimpse here of all of the different fruits whose seeds carry high levels of B17. And most of the time, it's not the shell of the nut that you find inside the fruit, but rather the small nut that it's inside the shell. Does that make sense? In every one of these shells, for example, the apricot, there's an apricot seed. In the plum, you open up that one, there's an apricot plum. The blackberries, as you know, there's small little seeds all over the blackberries. Same thing with the strawberries. It's all these little seeds that you can see here, okay? So it's and by you eating blackberries and strawberries, you are eating the seeds and you're getting your B17. However, when you're eating the plum and you're eating the nectarine and you're eating the apricot and the apples and the peaches and the grapes, you're not getting the B17 because you're getting rid of the big nut or the nuts, whatever. You don't want them, right? You dump the seeds. Well, you want to open up that seeds, or what you want to do is buy a product or foods that are high in B17. Top 5 sources here: fruits, seeds, nuts, shoots and sprouts, legumes, and leafy greens. You can hit the space bar and it gives you an idea here of some of the fruits that they're talking about. I'm just doing this video as a quick run over as to methods for you, or what you should be researching if you want to find out more about the B17 vitamin, okay? Walnuts, pecans, macadamia nuts, and cashews. All right. Next one up. If you don't want to, or if you're looking for a quicker access because you've already gotten cancer or prognosis doesn't look good, or maybe you haven't been eating good stuff or good foods, I'm going to share with you again. Where is that one? There was a pack. There we go. No, it's not that one. Where is it? Okay. I'm going to find it for you because I thought I had this already saved up for you. So just give me 1 second here so I can find these. Oh my God, apricot P17. Give me a second here so I can find on Amazon.com. So in Canada, it's Amazon.ca. They charge us an arm and a leg here for these apricot kernels, okay? If you go to .com, Amazon.com, hold on a second. I'll pull up the same seeds, the apricot seeds, and you got a wider variety. Will you piss off? Okay. This is what I'm talking about. The bitter apricot kernels, raw, 100% natural seeds. You can buy a 1 pound bag for only $19.99, $20 American. So this is what you want to get in. Start eating if you're you believe you're on the wrong track, or possibly, like I said, you just got a bad diagnosis. You want to change it right away. You also want to change your pH. This is why I was telling you about you want to look into your pH right away. Change your pH. Start changing your diet immediately, okay? Immediately. So I'm giving you, there's other apricot raw kernels sold on Amazon.com. You'll have to look into it. That's one of the best ones I found. There's also one that's a ground up powder. Okay, so next one, I'm going to Asic tea, and this is from a Canadian nurse. Her name was, do they say it here? Rense Case. Where is it, Renee's name? They don't say it, but I do know. I've researched this before, and her name is Rense Case, and she had received a recipe from a native gentleman on how to fight cancer. We're talking back in the 1960s, folks, okay? So you'll, again, I'm not trying to get you to buy the book. I'm just asking you to take a look into it if you don't believe me. I have to admit, it's kind of odd to see the native there all dressed up in his attire and he's holding a cigarette in his hand. But remember, these were back in the days before there were all these pesticides and whatnot that were in these cigarettes. So long story short, the book is there. I was hoping I could find her name, Rense Case. And come on, I know it's a Canadian nurse. Here he is. One of these is a Rense Case ASIC. Rense Case is ASIC. Miss Case spent a good part of her life working on ASIC. So you can buy the book there. And you can also buy her tea right on Amazon. Organic ASIC tea. Again, this is, I'm not making a buck off this, and you take it with a grain of salt. You can do your own research onto it. I'm just sharing with you what I have found. I was heavily into cancer research in the years 2008, 2009, and a little bit of a 2010. So I'm going off the top of my head here some of the information that I found that I believe would be very helpful to many of you. So this is her extract. You can buy the actual extract, trusted worldwide since 1922. I believe, they did a survey in Canada and United States, and they were asking the oncologists in both countries, should themselves or one of their family members come down with cancer, would they promote their chemotherapy? Would they take their own chemotherapy? Or would they, ask their family members to take the chemotherapy to prevent the cancer from spreading or cure themselves? And in the United States, I believe it was up to like 91% of oncologists would not even take their own chemotherapy treatment, and they would not offer it to their family members. In Canada, I believe it was 76% of oncologists refuse to take the treatment. So ask yourself, if that many of these oncologists who are prescribing the treatment themselves, they're prescribing the treatment to their clients, and they won't even take it themselves, then what the heck are they doing? I hope you look into this, because I'm not making up this stuff, okay? So the information's there. I'm just going over the bottles very quickly. You can hit the space bar if you want to read this stuff, but it's just so you can see en français, en anglais. You can read it in both languages, and you can see here, every 10 ml, 2 teaspoons, burdock, sheep sorrel, slippery elm, Indian rhubarb. Yeah, that's it. So is it a scam? I don't know. I don't think. I think it would have been. She would have been called out by now. See, they actually tried to stop her back in the day when she was on this. This is why it's still going at this point. They could not stop her. So you may want to do your research on this and get yourself informed. The books are sold at Amazon.ca. All right, I got to close all of these because I just know my computer is going to run like crap as soon as I go back to the comment section, which I'm about to do here. But before I do that, I'm going to go to the live readings at connectingdots1.com. And the reason I'm doing that is because a lot of you don't have a gamma spectrometer. I've mentioned this before. I happen to own 2 gamma spectrometers. I live right here on the West Coast. And I get disgusted when I see these people keep making these videos telling you everything is dead. Hey, where'd the comment section go? And they don't have there's no readings. You know, Dana Durnford was telling everyone that the radiation in his hometown was over 200 counts per minute. Well, that all came to an end the day I went up to his hometown and I showed people, look, the readings are very normal. And that's it. He stopped promoting that bullshit because he knows people aren't going to believe that crap forever. All right, so let's go over to connectingdots1.com. Now, the reason why I'm going to bring this up again, like I said, it's because many of you don't have a reading, you don't have a gamma spectrometer, and you want some readings, what's taking place around the world. So right on my website, I've put up these links here. You can go to USA National Radiation Map. Every one of these readings, this is important here, folks. This is not just one guy. It's not Dana Durnford who's sitting up here on Vancouver Island with his gamma spectrometer plugged in, giving you the 9, okay? Because we all know that if that reading on Vancouver Island was from Dana, it would be up. He would have his radiation up against it. He would buy a sample and put the sample up to it to try and promote it to a higher level. These readings come from regular people like yourself who have bought these various gamma spectrometers, which, by the way, you can join in if you want to do this, okay? The Geiger counters are all listed down below, okay? The compatible models are all here. So you can buy a gamma spectrometer, and you can get on this website, the radiationnetwork.com. Anyone can do this, and you can start having your readings promoted 24 hours on site. So it says here that the 3 consecutive minutes of lesser of 100 counts per minute, or 2.5 times the station's baseline, is when it becomes an alert level. So no alert level there, is there? Again, I know what people are saying. Yeah, but it's in the seafood. It's in the blah, blah, blah. Well, good. Let's do the testing. Let's do the testing, okay? Because if you're saying it's everywhere, and by the way, I've been making these videos on this Fukushima story since day one, and many, many times I've provided data to back up anything that I was saying, and or speaking of, I should say. And one of the big things is I'd proven that the Food and Drug Administration, including Arnie Gunderson, had all lied. You'd all been lied to, folks. Now, I'm looking for my FDA one, and it's not here. So what you have to do is come to my Fukushima uploads. I'm doing this just so you can follow along if you want to look into the readings. And I'll do the FDA. You do a search on FDA. And this one here. The Food and Drug Administration lies. Fukushima radiation, West Coast fish contamination is 0. So I got pissed off back then because in 2015, we had the, mainstream media reporting the numbers that were coming from the Food and Drug Administration that were claiming that all of the fish, that's why I called them bullshit, because they were saying that all of the fish that they tested up in Alaska all came back with 0 radiation. Yet every single time that I've done a video on showing that the radiation is still there in fish, what did I find? I'm sure if you recall, the last one I had was this independent fish warehouse out of Seattle had gone up to Alaska. I believe that was in January of 2015, if I'm not mistaken. And he had grabbed, purchased or whatever from a wholesaler up there, or from the fishermen themselves, I should say, 7 different species of salmon. 7 different species of salmon. Out of the 7 fish, 5 of them tested positive for radiation. Out of those 5 that tested positive, 2 of them were carrying Fukushima radiation. No, the levels weren't huge, but I'm just making my point that out of 7 fish tested, 5 of them tested positive for Fukushima, 5 tested positive for radiation. Out of the 2 out of the 5, it was Fukushima radiation. Yet we have the Canadian government, not just the Food and Drug Administration from the USA, okay? They're not the only ones that are corrupt. The Canadian Food and Drug the Health Canada is also corrupt. They're all playing part in this. In fact, this is one of the big things that I was talking about back then, when in March of 2011, when the meltdown took place. Someone at Health Canada decided to, have our Geiger counters. We had 5 Geiger counters set up at different places along the West Coast as our first line of defense should there ever be radiation, a meltdown over in Japan and across the Pacific Ocean. The government here was bright enough at one point to set up Geiger counters at different places, and most of them are on top of buildings high up. So they knew when it was traveling in the jet stream, we'll put it way up in the building, and the building up there on the roof is the best place to get the readings. Well, when the Fukushima meltdown took place, the government turned off 5 of the Geiger counters. We had no readings for 10 days. And then when they turned them back on, they turned them back on in the interior of British Columbia. They took them away from the coastline, and they put them way inside the interior in Kelowna. Very disgusting. Every test the government has done. I've even have, I wouldn't say arguments, but we didn't get along, a close family member and I, because they happen to work at the Canadian Food Inspection Agency. In fact, my family member holds a very high position, damn near the president of the Canadian Food Inspection Agency. I know people are saying, well, that makes you an insider. Oh, what are you talking about? I just told you I had an argument or disagreement with my family member, a close one. I'm not going to tell you what they are, how close they are to me, but they're very close. At my father's dinner table, I had an argument with my family member over the disgusting work, not that, my family member was doing, but what the Canadian Food Inspection Agency wasn't doing. I was telling them, considering we have a meltdown and they are dumping radiation into the ocean and it does bioaccumulate, why aren't you folks doing ongoing testing? And their reply to me was, well, Health Canada is doing it. So I'm not sure if that's because Health Canada is corrupt, and I'm not sure if you're aware of that, but Health Canada is corrupt to the core. We even had a minister, okay, who quit, and he wrote a book. You're going to get shocked out of this one, okay? Like I said, we're living in the land of Freemason and Illuminati. They're absolutely fraud. They're scammers, and they don't give a shit about you. It's about making sure they live and they control what's going on in our society. I hope you understand that. Our minister, he wrote a book. Look at this shit. This is just unbelievable. You can even go buy it at Amazon. You can go buy the book at Amazon. Memoirs of Health Canada Whistleblower. Shiv Chopra quit his position as the Minister of Health Canada and wrote a book, How Our Government is Corrupt. Not my words, his words. And not just a little corrupt, they are corrupt to the core. This is why I'm telling you that we're loaded with Freemason frauds here in Canada also. If you guys think you're going to move up here to Canada to get away of whatever, some people are talking, well, I'm going to get away from Obama. I'm going to get away from, Trump. I'm like, why? You're jumping from the beast's mouth right into the beast's belly. The Queen owns Canada. The Rothschild, they control Canada. It's nothing but a dumping ground. They don't care about us. In fact, that's why the minister wrote the book, because he found that the drug that they were trying to push him to accept, that's right, they wanted him to accept the drug so that farmers in Canada could start poking their cows with bovine growth hormones. Bovine growth hormones. Yeah. And he didn't want to, because he found that the BGH was causing cancer in all the tests. They didn't accept that. He had to accept that. He had to allow it into our food chain. And he says, no, not on my guard, not on my shift. He quit. He wrote a book, and he wrote how our ministers and the federal ministries of health are absolutely corrupt. I hope you understand. That's why I make these videos on Health Canada. Even though my family member, and I've said that before, it's not just one family member. I have friends and other family members that are in the government. It doesn't matter. It's not necessarily the people that are working at the desks and whatnot. They're corrupt. It's the higher up, the Freemasons, that are all controlling Canada. Okay, guys? Hope you understand that. So getting back to the radiation network, go check it out for yourself. Stay in tune. Don't get informed. Don't buy into these bullshitters. Okay, you need to stay away from the frauds. And as I said, my long-term goal is to buy a gamma spectrometer, and I want to get some funding. And if you can't afford to help me out, that's okay. I'm going to. It's a goal of mine, anyways, and it's coming one way or another. Okay, so thank you very much for coming out, and see you out here another day. I'm going to try and come out more often at Connecting Dots too, as I get back into researching conspiracies and whatnot. And I'll see you another day. Take care. I'm going to go to the comment section. Take care. Bye-bye. All right, comments. All right. My alternate Starlight impersonator did something to piss off Dana and is no longer posting comments on... Oh. Can you explain or have a reason for the documented ocean life dying, like the recent sardine killed in South America? Well, you know what, Starlight, I made a video on that, and I showed that, as well as whales washing up, dolphins washing up, all of these massive washing up events have been going on ever since Aristotle's time. That was what, the 1400s? Aristotle was writing about this. So there was no Fukushima radiation. There wasn't even any fast boats, And I relayed more recently how we had the Navy itself admitting that it was going to go on a 4-year tour out in the ocean, or an exercise, not a tour. And they were going to be letting go or dropping all types of sonar bombs and frequency bombs and whatnot, to test their anti-submarine equipment, blah, 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 right? They were doing this with China, Russia, a whole bunch of them. So for 4 years, they were going to be testing all these equipment. And they said that during this 4-year span, they were going to be killing off millions of Pacific Ocean marine life. So as far as the other killings or die-offs that we had in 2015, you may remember how the acidity of the ocean, I put up a hotspot. I'm not sure if you watched that video. I'll go back to my Connecting Dots 2 for a second, just to see if that's there. Man, I hate it when my computer runs slow. Hold on a second. All right, Connecting Dots 2. And by the way, that's the other thing, it makes me different from the rest. Thorium. Somebody says, you got all the answers there, smart ass. I'm like, yeah, I'm the only guy on YouTube that talks about thorium. He was calling me a smart ass because I was calling him out on all his bullshit in his videos. I'm like, yeah, I am the smart ass on YouTube that talks about creating power using magnets. The smart ass on YouTube that talks about thorium that nobody else wants to talk about. Yes, I am YouTube's smart ass. with the #1 track record of calling the financial markets since 2009. Yes, YouTube smartass. So smartass me had made a video a little while back, and you'll go check it out in my Fukushima playlist. But it was on the ocean and how it was warming up. Let me just go back in time to see if I can find that video, and it was right here. Connecting dots to Fukushima versus the Pacific blob and salmon population. So the salmon population is dying in one area, mostly the California, Oregon coast. Meanwhile, you know, the salmon population is doing okay at other places. You know, it's hit and miss. And anyways, long story short, I pointed out how we had these hot spots out in the middle of the ocean. All right. Let's go to the comments and investigate the Fuko hoax instead. Take a few steps back and look again. It was a 911 TV show. Yes, they let some stuff out, but not from... Oh boy, here we go again. Sorry. You show us where we can get this stuff. I'm sorry. If those of you saying Fukushima was a hoax, I don't know what to say to you folks. You need to wake up. Really? You need to wake up. We had tons of people. We had camera. We had drone footage. There's so much footage coming out of Fukushima. Please don't tell me that they blew up all of those reactors just out of what? It wasn't fake. If Kevin Blanch really made as much as he says he did in the stock market, etc., then he must have lived like Warren Buffett, actually more like frugal than Warren. Well, actually, that's the whole thing. He never made any money in the stock market. I've showed Kevin Blanch the home that he lives in. It's an old rundown rancher-style home with garbage all around the backyard. It looks poor. Looks like he's poor. I believe that's why he's scamming. Fuku is fear-mongering and also a cover-up. All the poison shit barrels they have dumped in the ocean. Yes, that's why I keep saying there's more radiation sitting down there in all these barrels. It all fit into the agenda to force people out of no, force people out of California. This is the shit that I can't put up with. I can't put up with that stuff. Okay. Would you be willing to stake what you say on a bet? Yeah, he won't take a bet. Of course. Okay, I live in California coast, and we have record life in some places. Fishing is good. Yes, I know that. What? Also, Chernobyl was a hoax. Oh my God! Holy jumping! I can't read that stuff. I can't stand reading that when people get stupid like that. Yeah, Dana says that the building doesn't exist at CNN went in. The thing is, they never went in the building. They're on top of the building within the new structure they added to the top of the building. Radiation is like magnetism field. The field doesn't leave the rods. It stays around the rods like magnetism stays around the magnet. I don't know about that. Yes, the beaches are fine. Nukes don't work. Exist just fear mongering. Same with radiation. It works well for some whatever. Galen Windsor is a Mason, but they work like that. They put on some truth. It's a mocking. Yes. I don't know if you saw that, Galen Windsor, but he pretends to, or assumes, or says to everyone that he's swimming in all these ponds and blah, 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 blah. You know what? Maybe that pond wasn't highly radioactive. Maybe he's one of those people that's not very susceptible to radiation, but I guarantee you, I'm not going to go swimming in some radioactive pond because some guy called Galen Windsor on a black and white video from 1968 or whatever says that he was swimming in these fuel pools. Okay. He has a checkered floor in his artwork. Who's that? Who are you speaking about? Yeah, can you imagine if it was all a hoax and we did have somebody rolling in there into Fukushima? Look, I'm walking in with my camera. I don't think so. Okay. Paul Begley is a fraud. Okay. Modern religions are Freemason. Yeah, they are part of the Freemason frauds. But you can't tell people that about religion. They get very, very upset. Extremely upset. In fact, I may lose subscribers just having said what I just said, to be honest with you. Sadly, many of the followers are just emotionally hurted by the story, and they fight you when you try helping them. Yes, this is so true. So true. He speaks like a 2-year-old. In fact, he speaks more like a drunk 2-year-old at times. I'll have to say that you never see video or pics of those who were exposed and died from radiation. You see more alien footage. Yeah, okay. I like watching Dana. I don't like you saying that shit here, girl, because he's a fraud. He's repetitive. Why would you want to watch him? Why would you even want to say that in my comments? I don't know why. Honestly, it surprises me. Yes, well, one doctor has been charged with falsely diagnosing people. So you can't say all doctors, but one doctor is, yeah, one for sure. Silver, very powerful antibacterial. Absolutely. Sodium bicarbonate, yes. Clear temp files and format disk? No, my computer has just been all set up by one of my traders. He just went through all of that stuff. David Icke is a great source of religion. David Icke is a fraud. Okay, Starlight, now I'm really getting really suspicious of you. I can't believe she's promoting David Icke. Honestly, this is where I get like, who is this person? First she said she likes the I think I need to get rid of her. Honestly, I hate to say that to you there, Starlight, but that's the truth. You're promoting A, I like watching Dana Durnford. B, David Icke is a great source. Come on. Jesus, Murphy, I can't believe the shit that some of you people say. David Icke, the same guy who's going around telling you what? That the people leading our countries are what? Aliens? Shape-shifting aliens. Get the flipping out of here. No, I'm serious. Get out of here if you're going to listen to that bullshit and promote it here. I'm sorry, Starlight, but this is it. The buck stops here. I'm sorry, but there'll be no more bullshit dollars going over to those people. Do not promote these people. Don't even put them in a good light. For you to say that lion scammer David Icke, who's been associated with the rest of the fraudsters, and I'm talking about oh geez, what's his name here? Hold on a second. They're all pictured together too. Here, that's the best of it. This is going to be a good one for you, girl. Don't be leaving just yet. We're going to get you some more stuff here. Okay? The frauds here, they all hang out together. They're all together. I said this is one of the things I'd warned in August of 2014. I said, guys, look, going forward, we're most likely going to get that circle jerk of corruption all joining up together. See, there they are together. Just wait. They've been together many times. The gatekeepers. Bingo. Did you get that? Because that's what I've been saying for a long time. These people are gatekeepers. You follow these people, they're going to keep you going down that rabbit hole and you'll never find the bottom. I'm telling you straight up, you are wasting your time listening to people that scream and shout and holler like Alex Jones does in his videos. A madman is not even a mad 16-year-old gone berserk. And then you listen to the other hosebag on the right, David Icke, who's telling you that the leaders of our countries are all shape-shifting aliens. Park the bullshit boat and get the hell off. I am done with that bullshit. It's the same thing with Adam Kokesh. In fact, I've even made videos at Silver Gold Man asking us at some point that we end up prosecuting, rounding up all these fraudsters, Freemason fraudsters, and there's a lot of them. And people saying, well, that'll never get done. You're right. It might not ever get done for another 5-10 years. But the movement is growing. Alex Jones is fake news. Paul Watson steals articles from other real YouTubers online and posts them at his own as his own credible work at InfoWars. This is one big circle jerk of corruption, and I'll tell you what, more and more people are waking up to this stuff. Do not promote Alex Jones or David Icke in any of my comment sections. They are 110% terrible sources of religions or any type of information. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. E. But he says lizard people and makes himself foolish and intentionally to hide all the real info. They are called gatekeepers. Gatekeepers. And I'm sorry if Starlight, I'm going to go down the comments. I know there's a lot of them here. I don't care if you got upset, because I'm not out here to make friends. Hell no. I'm here to bust the bullshitters and bring some truth on YouTube. And when I see you promoting people that are absolutely frauds, I got to question your reasoning. I really got to question it. Yes, the lizard shape-shifting biz isn't David. Yes, it is. We all remember David Icke for saying this for years. Did I just get upset at her? No. But I get fueled up because I realize that these people are... She's lost, and she obviously can't see what's going on here. Totally lost. And I don't get caught up too much on because people say, well, you know, they're not the Jews, they're not the real Jews. Brother, we're all talking about the Rothschild banking Zionist gang, okay? That's it. And whether they're the real Jews or not, which are most likely they are not, from what I've seen so far, what I've learned, it doesn't matter. We refer to them as Jews right now because that's what they were called in our society, okay? And I've said that before, it's not all the Jews. Absolutely not. A lot of the Jewish people are absolutely clueless to what's going on, just like the majority of the people that watch my videos or come on YouTube, or many of them that don't come on YouTube, absolutely corrupt. I mean, sorry, are clueless. They don't know what's going on in the world, you know? You know, for Laura R., the Freemasons were good guys until they were infiltrated. I don't know. I think the Freemasons have been bad for a long time, to be honest with you. Okay? Geez, there's a lot of comments. I'm not used to that many comments. Owns the FRID 66 building in New York. I'm not going to get too much worked up on that. Somebody's building happens to be named 6666. I mean, come on. Harvest black before the color in their skin for solar panels? What the hell shit is that? It's the Zionists, not the Jews. Like I said, I'm not going to get caught up too much on the specific names of it. We know more or less who the group are. We can tie in Alex Jones and the rest of them. I've said that before. Why would was it David Rothschild picked up the phone and had a conversation with Alex Jones? And I was telling folks, come on, think about it right there. Why would the Rothschilds get into a phone conversation with some nutcase on YouTube, conspiracy guy called Alex Jones? 48 years old, going on 12. I don't think so. Videos of hemp batteries outdoing lithium. I'll share the link, guy. I'd like to see that, because I was just telling folks that my next picks here, I'm working on a series of marijuana stocks. But if I can find an association with hemp and batteries, that'd be interesting. The cancer faking soup artist. You got it, Wedge Mac. Good for you. And doctors, because there are more now? I didn't know if there was more now. I know one's been charged. Read his book, CD. No, I won't. I just told you, Starlight. Why would I want to listen to a person who makes a mockery of the conspiracy world? Think about it, Starlight. If I came out here on YouTube and I start talking about Fukushima and the finance and stuff, and I start telling you, yeah, I didn't want to tell you this, but my girlfriend, I think she's an Illuminati. She's a shapeshifter. Boom, you'd all be gone. I don't want to talk about a person or put him in a good light who's telling everyone, you know, especially when he has such a wide-reaching audience within the conspiracy world. I hope you understand that's why it's also done on purpose. These people are put up there to gatekeep. That's why they are so popular. That's why the media will talk about Alex Jones in the media. That's why some of the media sometimes talk about David Icke. It's done on purpose. So when you do decide you want to wake up, you're going to go follow these names that they've put out on YouTube, these names they've talked about in the media. Yes, Alex Jones is 100% pro Israel. In fact, if you go to my Connecting Dots to YouTube channel and you go down to my Alex Jones, the gatekeeper, he says it right there. It's 28 seconds long. Alex Jones supports Israel, and he's a Stratford informer. I mean, there's so many things I could go on to Alex Jones that just prove that he is part of the fraud, the Freemason frauds. So I'm hoping at some point the truth movement will expand and we can all call them out. I'm not sure, you know, what's going to happen at that point. But one of the things I've been saying, folks, is since 2014, I said that circle jerk of corruption, that fraud, that Freemasons will start joining up more and more here. They need to. They absolutely need to, because there's more of us that are catching on to their bullshit. Nothing an insane wouldn't sort out. Yeah, he's nuts. I even have a video called Connecting the Dots before I heard of your channel. It's related to Fukushima too. Oh, okay. Rothschilds funded the creation of the State of Israel. Yes. Okay. Well, thanks, CD. I like different opinions, but fact is something else. Try to back things up as you have been doing. Do you want me to back it up that he's nothing but a fraudster who promotes shape-shifting aliens, Starlight? Because I will. You've already heard Mr. E talk about it. I'm not the only one. I've been out here since 2009. I've heard that hosebag and many other hosebags tell everyone that the leaders of our nations are all shape-shifting. Enough with the bullshit. What I want him to talk about is the stuff that I talk about. I'm sorry, if this sounds like I'm upset at you, but I'm upset that you can't even bloody see the reality of it. That's what's kind of upsetting, Starlight. I mean, you're out here saying that you watch Dana Durnford, you like David Icke. It really questions to like, hello, who's behind that ship? I don't even want to make fun of you, but honestly, you're listening to somebody who's talking about friggin' shape-shifting aliens. Shape-shifting aliens. Okay, where was I going to go here? I wanted to pull up something for you. Is your girlfriend Princess Diana? Well, testimonials are one thing. What's that all about? My girlfriend's not Princess Diana, anyways. But David Icke, the shapeshifter, is there. If you want me to pull that video up, I'll gladly find it for you. And Mr. Assis is confessing to intestinal. Okay, here we go, folks. I'm going to share this one here because we have Mr. E here. He's preventingdisease.com news. Doctor confessing to intentionally diagnosing healthy people with cancer. But I don't know if that's doctors, guy. I'm just telling you, because I've come across this story too, like the rest of you, except I only found one doctor who was charged here. Okay, let's go look at it here. January the 7th. This better not be fake news, because I'm tired of it. David Icke, Alex Jones. I cannot put up with fake news, folks. You have to understand, I'm fed up with it. Fed up with fake news. Disgusted. Okay, so we're going to read this story very quickly to see if I can find doctor. Okay, he admitted. That's one doctor. Okay, that's still the same one doctor. See how quickly I busted that? That's one doctor. Only one doctor. Like I said, the bloody fake news. It's the same doctor. They're still talking about Farid Fatah. There's no other doctors in this one. See how quickly I busted that one? Man, that was fast, eh? That was fast. So there's nobody else. There's the one doctor who's been charged. It's the same one I've been talking about. Find me the more doctors. Where? Where? There's nothing. And I don't mean to call you out, Mr. ME, but I'm just, this is what reporting is all about. You go read the story, you follow the links to back up what he's saying. There's nothing there. There's none whatsoever. But Ike is expressing opinion on lizard people. We all know it. Y'all know what? Y'all know what? That there are lizard people that are controlling our government? Starlight, enough. Well, maybe there isn't shapeshifters. Well, in that case, maybe he should shut the hell up also, eh? Enough with the crap. Enough. He's a Freemason sellout gatekeeper. I can't believe that this person is still promoting David Icke and can't realize he's a fraud. There you go. Rob's got it figured out. Rob, you got it. Icke is to draw people in and get lost in the bullshit. Is that not obvious? He meant obverse, but he meant obvious, but he wrote obverse. It's obvious to me. I can't understand why she can't see it. And there's many of us informed individuals. We can see right through it. He plays the exact same role as Paul Watson, Paul Begley, Alex Jones, Dana Durnford, BP Earthwatch, Lisa Heavens. Shall I go on? Because YouTube, Dabu7, it's loaded with frauds. Loaded. Honestly, that's why I can't understand Starlight is even here talking about these people. She can't. Can she not see what's going on? Obviously, she can't. Thinking, I'm shocked. I'm just shocked. Anyways, I'm going to end the show here. Thank you very much for coming out, and I hope you share this information with somebody else because people need to get informed. And it's only by us sharing all the information, and they may take it upon themselves to do some research and look at what Jeff Palco had warned us. Maybe even look into Freemasons and how they're connected. It's one of the big things here over at Connecting Dots One. If you scroll on down, I've got a thread right here. It's called Illuminati. Wake up time, folks. They're here leading us. They have been for a long time. Long time. And we're talking centuries. They've been here for centuries. The difference is now we're in the age of communication, social media. We can now contact each other and share our wealth of information much faster than any other time in history. And this is why the Freemasons are afraid. One of the people, or many people, I should say, just because I just received another email the other day, the guy was saying, do you think that they might go into war? And I'm like, well, because that's what I was saying a while back. I said, I believe once they start getting busted and the truth movement really gets into truth movement. I mean, the whole Trump thing is just one part of it. Nigel Farage is just one part of it with the European Union, exiting the European Union. There's a lot more. People have to peel it back and go take a good look at that fruit and see what's underneath all of that. And once that they really start getting exposed, I believe at some point they may have to throw us into a war because they need to offset what's taking place. And it's only by pulling us out into a war that, the narrative will change on mainstream media and YouTube. There'll be tons of videos on wars and whatnot. So anyways, the information's there. And I said this before, this all goes back to money and the Rothschilds. Where Grandpa Rothschild had said, give me control of a nation's money supply and I care not who writes the law. And that's exactly what they did. And anyone who stood in their way, they became part of the problem. All right. Oh, geez, we got some more comments here. I still got to say, hey, Christophe Lafayette, hey, thanks for showing up. But Ike interviewed some African guy who said reptilians are real. Yeah, I know. We can get lots of African guys. No thumbs down? There's got to be some thumbs down. Oh, that is weird. Usually I get a bunch of thumbs down. Okay, that's why I watch you like I watch Dana. Try to keep an open mind. Well, I'm sorry, Starlight, but if you're watching Dana and you're looking for an open mind, I'm going to tell you that you're an extremely very close-minded person. Because if you can't realize that Dana Durnford's a fraud for scamming Jeff Palco out of his life savings, this is where I realize that I think you're dumb. I mean, I hate to say that in my videos, but either A, you're dumb, or B, you are plain dumb to try and drag the people that are in the comment sections and watching this video to go out and watch David Icke and Alex Jones. I mean, and Dana Durnford. So you pick. It's either you're dumb or you're plain dumb to try and grab people out there to go watch Dana Durnford. In the presentation I just showed here, as far as Dana Durnford and its credibility, it's garbage, girl. Get it through your head. He's collected thousands of dollars. I'm not talking about the $7,000 or $8,000 or $12, whatever, $14,000 he's looking for right now. I'm talking about the other thousands of dollars. What he did to Jeff Palco, how he took a lien on, or allowed Jeff to take a lien out on his home for $16,000, and Jeff buy him a 24-foot long Zodiac to go out and do sampling. Hello, Starlight, wake up. Did you not hear me? It's not entertainment. People have committed suicide. And I'm saying this, folks, because she goes and says it's entertainment. This is where I realize that this person's fucking stupid. They're fucking stupid. Starlight, you're fucking stupid. A guy has committed suicide, has been defrauded. It's not entertainment. Okay, being a gatekeeper and misleading truth movement by telling people that our leaders of our countries are shifters, if you think that's entertainment, you need to get lost. You are totally lost. Totally lost. And it's disgusting to me. And I've got upset at this point because it's disgusting that you would actually turn a blind eye to what they have done to Jeff Palco, how they scammed out of all of his life savings. Jeff took his life over this incident. He took his entire life savings. The guy committed suicide the day before Christmas in 2014, and all you can say, it's entertainment. I've had enough with you. I'm sorry. I've had enough. Enough. And I'm sure the people watching this show, if they manage to make it through the entire show and the information I shared with Jeff Palco, what took place, they are disgusted with you also. How dare you come out and say that they are entertainment? Someone has committed suicide because they lost their life savings. If this is entertainment for you, then you need to get off my channel and go seek entertainment somewhere else. You are turning a blind eye because you're out here promoting and saying they are nothing but entertainment and good to watch. Get out of here. You're lost. And I'm sorry, folks, you had to listen to me go off on a person like this, but you know, we're talking about life and death. We are talking about truth. We are talking about my kids. You know, I've said that before. The reason why I'm so wholeheartedly about making these videos, it's not because I make money, because I don't have a single ad. There hasn't been a single sponsor. And don't think that because you see my gamma spectrometer donations that I'm getting hundreds of dollars coming in. It ain't happening that way. I've said that before. And like the radiation tour I did 2011, back and forth across Canada, I went out and bought the equipment, and I came out and said, hey guys, if you want to help me out, there's a donation button. I received some money, but only about what, $1,750. Nowhere near the amount of money I put out here for my instruments and my cross Canada tour for what, 2.5 months on the road. People want truth. And if we have people are like Starlight that are going to come out here and say that these people are entertainment, you can see here why I just don't have no time for that type of bullshit. I won't put up with it. So I'm going to end the show on this note. It's upsetting to see that there are people promoting David Icke and Alex Jones and Dana Durnford and calling them entertainment when they're nothing but killers, lying killers that will scam you out of your life savings. They don't give a shit out of you. You'll never see Starlight and go say, well, yeah, you're right. He did promise that when he took the $16,000 and the additional, I think it was another $7,000 cash that Jeff Palco had lent to Dana. We all heard how Dana said that he was going to go out and do some testing and share the results of the marine life testing. You'll never hear Starlight and say, you know what, you're right, he scammed him out of his life savings. It's not really good entertainment. She's not saying that shit. She's saying the opposite. And that's why I'm disgusted with this. Just disgusted with her and anyone else who thinks this way. And I don't care if she gives me 10,000 thumbs down. I know there's some real people on YouTube that care about others. They care about the truth. And if you've watched this entire video, hopefully you've gotten yourself informed. I gotta end it here. I gotta go make another cup of coffee. I'll see you folks out later on. Hope you have a great weekend. Take care.